All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Midnight Live Stream Special. I'm doing a live review of Amazon Prime's brand new series, Hanna. Oh my God, it's been quite the full day today. I just got back from Hotel Mumbai press screening, and I'm aware that Jordan Peele's Us had its screening, I think, in New York also earlier this evening. So go check out my full review of Us movie here on Rama Screen Channel. I posted it like back at South by Southwest 2 weeks ago. So and of course Disney owns Fox officially right now. So Disney has officially owned Fox. So it's been a pretty full day, and I'm tired, and that's why I was too exhausted to actually do a refined well edited format review of Hannah. So, because that would take time and I have a lot of thoughts about it. I don't want to lose my train of thoughts. So I write them down on notes, but I didn't have time to actually film it. So I figured, you know what? Let me just give it to you live, straight up. And I have the notes here on my screen. Uh, it's a big note because I happen to really enjoy this new show. Um, the embargo lifts right now, March 20. That's why I'm giving you the review, because Amazon says, "Okay, Rama, March 20th, you can post your review." So that's why I'm here. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank Amazon for granting me the screener to the entire 8 episodes of this new series. So thank you, Amazon Prime. Um, and this show, as you all know, is based on the 2011 film of the same title, and this show is created and produced by screenwriter producer named David Farr, who also co-wrote the film version in 2011, which was directed by Joe Wright, one of my favorite filmmakers around. By the way, stick around because by the end of this review, I'll be announcing the winner of Rama Screen Mary Poppins Returns Blu-ray giveaway. So if you participate in that contest, you definitely want to hear who is the ultimate winner of that giveaway. Okay, so back to the review. So the premise or the plot between the 2011 movie and this TV series version, they're not too far different. But just want to let you know right now that this review does not contain spoilers. I repeat, I will not be spilling any major spoilers in this review. So any twists and turns, I will leave that for your own, pleasure of viewing when you get to actually binge watch this show. Um, I only watched the 2011 movie just only once, and I covered the press junket. I remember that much. So it's been a while since I watched the 2011 movie, but I remember, Saoirse Ronan plays the title character, this girl that was raised by her father, played by Eric Bana, and she was raised by her father in the snowy tundra wilderness of Finland, and turns out she was part of this project that's geared towards developing the perfect assassins. So she and her father journey across Europe, trying to evade the intelligence agents, and her ruthless, the intelligence operative played by Cate Blanchett, and her ruthless agents that try to hunt them down or take them down because her very existence can expose their secret program. So, if I'm not mistaken, that was the premise of the movie. I remember liking it. I remember liking the film, but I also remember was that I was not very blown away by it. I wasn't like, whoa, mind blown. Oh my God, Hannah's the best thing ever. No. Um, Partly because by that point we had seen many movies and stories and TV shows about characters who, when they were kids, they were trained by some organization in some secret facility, trained to be killers, trained to be potential assassins, or to someday become perfect soldiers. So the concept is not anything new. Uh, you guys remember the series Dark Angel, right? Right, with Jessica Alba. What other examples can we? I think The Pretender as well with Michael T. Weiss. Uh, the most recent one, Blind Spot, with Jamie Alexander playing Jane Doe, and when she and her brother were kids, they were part of this. Under the guidance of Shepard, the terrorist named Shepard. Kids that were trained by Shepard to become her soldiers. So that premise, that concept has been done before. So I wasn't blown away. I was not blown away by Hanna. Um, that said, this new series, which by the way premieres on March 29th, next week, next Friday, on Amazon Prime, this series kind of expands. Um, it makes the world in the 2011 film even bigger. And this series also digs deeper into the relationships between Hanna and her friends, and the people that she encounters along the way. The relationship between her and Eric Heller, who is her father, or her parental figure, if you will. And in this show, we also get to know more about Marissa. Marissa is played by Mireille Enos. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Marissa was played by Cate Blanchett in the 2011 movie. So we get to know more about Marissa in this show. And turns out she does have a humanity side to her, that it's not all just about the job to her. So that's what this series offers basically. It fleshes out the story, it fleshes out the characters, um, in addition to, of course, occasional action sequences that are, if I were to grade it, I'd say the action sequences in this show are mild to thrilling. Nothing too death defying, nothing too elaborate. But the fights and the action sequences have only one purpose, and that is to move the story forward. Um, so let me give you the official plot synopsis of Hanna series here. It says, raised in total seclusion in the remote woods, let's just say remote forest of Eastern Europe, Hanna, played by Esme Creed Miles, has spent her entire young life training to fight those who hunt her and her mercenary father, Eric Heller, played by Joel Kinnaman. Hanna's survivalist skills are finally, um, sorry, somebody just texted me, are finally put to the test when she and Eric are separated upon their discovery by a rogue CIA operative named Marissa Wiegler, played by Mireille Enos, and her team of agents. Hanna then embarks on a perilous journey alone across Europe, um, as she seeks to reunite with her father and evade the dangerous agents targeting them. Hanna's isolated upbringing offers particularly daunting physical and emotional challenges as she is forced to navigate an ever deepening conspiracy, one that could potentially undo both her and her father. Excuse me. Okay. So that's the official plot synopsis of this show. This series reunites the two lead actors from AMC's Emmy-nominated series, The Killing. So I did not watch The Killing religiously, but if you are fans of The Killing, I'm sure it must bring back some warm, fuzzy, nostalgic feeling, right? To see Joel Kinnaman and Mireille Enos back together on the small screen again, even if their characters on this show are on the opposite sides this time around, so they're not really allies. Um, the first season of Hanna was written and produced by David Farr, who co-wrote the film, as I mentioned earlier. Director said the whole project was filmed entirely on location in Hungary, Slovakia, Morocco, Spain, and the UK. Wow. And you thought that Game of Thrones is massive. Um, so so that alone should give you an idea of what you're getting yourselves into, because even if this season one only has 8 episodes, but the story goes from one place to the next. And by the end of it, you feel like you've done this massive road trip through a piece of Eurasia, or Eurasia, they call it. Um, so you go from like the snowy place, really cold, to the desert, and the heat, and then of course the UK. Fantastic, fantastic. If you're asking me, bird's eye view question, hey Rama, what is your overall verdict about this show, Hanna? My answer to you is I like it. I really do. With other shows, like the recent one with the limited series, The Widow with Kate Beckinsale, I mentioned to you that I felt it was like a mixed bag. There are parts about it that I liked, there are parts about it that I didn't like. But for Hanna, I like it. My verdict is I really, really like this show. I'm a big fan of this new Hanna series. But just a heads up, there are a couple of episodes in this season which I consider to be a bit too slow in its pacing. And these are episodes when Hanna spends her time with the eccentric family that she encounters. If you recall, in the movie, there's also a portion where Saoirse Ronan's character Hanna kind of stumbles upon this family that dresses like a hippie. um, well, the family is kind of slightly different in the show. It has its own. I mean, they have their own eccentricities. Um, so the episodes that deal with them and Hanna, they're pretty slow episodes. Because these are the moments when Hanna learns about being a teenager, about having a crush. She learns about sex, but at the same time, Hanna also knows that she is a walking deadly weapon because of the years of the training, right? The years of the training that she had from her dad. And so occasionally, without realizing it, she would unintentionally unintentionally unlock that part of her. And so sometimes she doesn't realize that she physically hurts the people around her, because she's very reflexive. Um, she is trained to be reactionary whenever she feels threatened, and so she inadvertently can actually hurt anybody around her physically. So the intricacies within those um, episodes about Hanna spending time with this family and her new friend Sophie, the intricacies of those episodes provide a way to humanize Hanna. So I totally understand the purpose of those episodes. And I understand why they have to kind of slow down for those. So this is not necessarily a negative criticism. Just a heads up, just to let you know that there'll be times when this show feels like it needs to hit the brake pedal instead of the gas pedal. And this is done so that you could see a bit of a bit of the fish out of water, humorous experiences here and there, bits and pieces. But most of all, it's done so that you will see the kind of friend that Hanna is, given the chance of having friends. What kind of person she is in a social setting that's more than just her and her dad. So that's the purpose of those episodes, and why they kind of feel like they take you away from the bigger arc that's going on. the conspiracy stuff, but it's necessary to shape Hannah as a person and as a human, um, more than just like this girl who is a walking deadly weapon. Um, Now, with regards to the conspiracy aspect of the film, speaking of which, um, about how the agents are hunting her and her dad and so on and so forth. I love it. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. It's not That part is not too fast paced, and as I said earlier, the action is not elaborate. There's no mind blowing stunt work, um, but it does its job. It does its purpose, and it advances the story, and it helps the story to progress. Now, I'm not sure what fighting style that Hannah has, but it's an effective one. It's pretty quick. She doesn't spend too much time with an opponent. Um, Usually, it's just a combination of 1-2 punch or 1-2 kick with a grapple. It's all about disarming and putting them down quickly. It's all about disarming with her, and I think if I were to guess, it's a bit of judo and a bit of Krav Maga. Whereas her father, Eric, is way more lethal than Hannah. Uh, Eric is the Eric is the shoot to kill kind of guy and doesn't waste a bullet. Now Hannah is also Hannah is also proficient when it comes to handling firepower or handling weapons. But Eric is just like second nature to him. Um, the violence on this show can get really graphic, but it's not. It doesn't happen that frequent. But when it does happen, it's very unforgiving, which is good. Which is good because it adds to the urgency and the consequences at hand. Eric Heller, played by Joel Kinnaman. Eric is a fascinating character because he genuinely cares for Hannah, but there are methods that he utilizes, including getting his old crew back together again on this crusade, that unfortunately transpires at the expense of that said group. I'm not going to spoil what happens to them. You got to watch it for yourself. So, in other words, Eric would move heaven and earth, right? He would move heaven and earth, flip every table to rescue Hannah, to keep Hannah safe. But the cost of that along the way, sadly, sometimes is paid by the bloodshed of those that Eric supposedly cares about. Um, and what's interesting is that Eric has come to terms with that whole cost thing. He has come to terms with that. He's like, this is how it is. This is the life I've chosen. So there's nothing I can do. Sometimes my friends can die too, um, which makes him a pretty hardened individual. And Joel Kinnaman does a phenomenal job of delivering that so as to his character comes off cold and distant at times. Um, and he's got this tough love going in him, right? And that sometimes rubs Hannah the wrong way, this whole tough love thing. Um, Mireille Enos, Joel Kinnaman's The Killing co-star. Mireille Enos plays Marissa here, and she also does an excellent job of playing Marissa. Sometimes we don't know if Marissa is pure evil, or sometimes we don't know if she, for sure we don't know for sure yet if she has if she just doesn't have any option but to do what she's paid to do. Um, if I remember correctly, Cate Blanchett as Marissa in the 2011 film was more clear cut than this one, than this Marissa. Because Mireille Enos gives Marissa more shades and complexities. the star of these 8 episodes, and that is Esme Creed Miles, who's pretty new to the scene. If you look up her IMDb, she hasn't had a lot of body of work yet. She's only about 19 years old or so right now. I don't remember if 19 years old is the same age that Saoirse Ronan was when she did the 2011 movie. Um, but anyway, back to Esme. I haven't seen Esme's previous films, Mr. Lonely, Dark River, Pond Life. So I'm pretty, that name, this actress is pretty new to me, and I'm sure she's also pretty new to a lot of you. Now, it may not be fair to compare Esme's portrayal of Hannah to Saoirse Ronan's portrayal of Hannah, mainly because Saoirse Ronan is a multiple Oscar nominee that's on a whole other level. So I'm just gonna put it this way: Esme Creed Miles is the right choice for this role. She has that innocence and somewhat cluelessness about her, which is perfect. Uh, Whenever Hannah discovers certain things for the first time, there's a scene in this series where she's like, I think she tries Snicker bar for the first time. It's like, oh, this tastes kind of good. Do you have more of that? Oh, excuse me. Um, so again, as I said earlier, there's a fish out of water element to it, but they don't keep banging you in the head with it. Um, so again, Esme has that innocence and cluelessness expression or approach about her that makes her really perfect for this role. Um, but Esme also is fierce. She's fierce. This actress is this actress is impressive for her age, not just in terms of her physicalities when she kicks ass, but she's also fierce in her displaying Hannah's frustrations, especially when she's had it up to here with Eric Heller keeps keeping her in the dark when it comes to certain secrets. There are times throughout this season where it's like when she says to Eric, like frequently, it's like, why are you keeping me in the dark? Like, why all the secrets? We're not supposed to keep secrets from each other. But Eric just keeps on, not telling Marissa, I'm sorry, not telling Hannah the bigger picture. So we as the audience, we sometimes side with Hannah because like, dude, Eric, just tell her already. Come on, man. It's not good to keep secrets between you and the people you care about. That's what's supposed to be happen if you're, in a society full of humans anyway. But secrets makes for good drama. So I get it. I get it. Um, Esme also has this magnetic performance about her. You can't help but be drawn to her. She has this magnetic persona, and I really hope that we get to see her in many more gigs in the near future because Hannah is a wonderful breakthrough gig for this young talent. So, uh, overall, I think this is an excellent season 1. I don't know if there will be a season 2. Um, without spoiling any details, by the end of episode 8, I don't get the feeling or the sense like it's set up for another season, or I didn't get that cliffhanger sense. Um, but for this, for the first season, it is a solid first season in my opinion, and I think it does a well structured job of laying out the foundation, laying out the characters, laying out the world for you in a highly engrossing and absorbing way that engages you, even if you've never seen the 2011 film. So you're not required to have watched the 2011 film first before you watch the series. No, you can come in to watching or binge watching this series. You can come in fresh, and you'll still enjoy it. There are some heartwarming father daughter kind of moments. There's a lot of badass moments, of course. There's even an intense shootout scene that coincides with some of the characters' pivotal moments. Um, but there are moments, as I implied earlier, that also require your patience. So it's a drama slash action thriller that is mesmerizing through and through. Hanna is worthy of binge watching. So go check out Hanna. It premieres March 29th on Amazon Prime. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Okay, now we're on to announcing the winner of Mary Poppins Returns Blu-ray giveaway. So are you ready? All right. So there's only one winner. All right. There can be only one, says Highlander. And the winner, drum roll, please. The winner of Rama Screen Mary Poppins Returns Blu-ray and compact mirror giveaway is Nick Schaefer's. Nick Schaefer's from West Union, Iowa. Nick Schaefer's from Iowa, the state of Iowa. So, Nick Schaefer's, congratulations. Thank you for participating. And for the rest of you out there whose name did not get mentioned tonight, don't feel discouraged. Please don't feel down. There'll be plenty more opportunities to come. I actually already have um, uh, set it up with another studio for another giveaway happening very soon. So please stick around, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching this special live stream review of Hanna Season 1, which again will premiere on March 29th only on Amazon Prime. So go watch it there and subscribe to this channel. Press that like button, ring that bell, and if you can help support Rama Screen, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Reap your rewards there. All right. Thank you guys. Let's rock this.